It looks like there's a lot of money in war. The Clint Eastwood drama American Sniper has become the highest-grossing film released last year. That's going by the North American or domestic box office, where it's raked in $337 million, beating out action movies like the latest Hunger Games film and Guardians of the Galaxy. American Sniper tells the true story of lethal marksman Chris Kyle, who served during the American invasion of Iraq. It aims to show the effects the war has had on soldiers, although some critics have accused it of glossing over history and oversimplifying the war itself. And speaking of violence, the Entertainment Software Ratings Board, or ESRB, has released details on why Batman Arkham Knight is the first game in the series to get an M for mature rating. Without getting into spoilers, the game contains lots of blood and gritty violence, some profanity, and at least 2 scenes depicting torture. All the other Arkham games had a T for teen rating, so this means Arkham Knight will be more intense. It will hit the PC, PS4, and Xbox One on June 2nd. Now here to join me to discuss these very important topics, it is Scott C. Jones. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. You know, Vic is not here today, but we do need to talk about Batman. I know he doesn't like when we talk about Batman and he's not here.
I can talk about Batman any day of the week. Okay. He is also my favorite superhero. I tried to like Superman for a long time, but I don't.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
I like him.
I want to know how you feel about this M rating now on the new Batman game that's supposed to be coming out. Are you happy with the M rating? Are you concerned about it?
Well, I feel like the whole game industry now, for the last 20, 30 years, we've been kind of growing away from things that might have been considered taboo at the beginning. And it's time for us to start embracing more mature games. And that also means it's time for us to start embracing more grim subject matter and more grim depictions and frankly, more adult depictions.
Well, sure, there's just some concern that maybe they won't sell as many copies because of the M rating, but I disagree with that. I feel like they're going to sell just as many. Like, look at Grand Theft Auto.
You're right.
M rating, kids that shouldn't be playing that game are still playing. Like, if you want to play something, you're going to go and play it, just like what you did when you were 12 and you snuck into those 18A movies.
Yeah, my dad had a comedy album that was only for adults, and that's the only album I remember us owning as a kid. So.
Album. Okay, great. Let's move on now, shall we? American Sniper. Let's talk about American Sniper because you and I reviewed this movie.
We had a lot of fun.
We did, but are you surprised by the amount of money this movie is grossing?
I am surprised because if I had to pick a box office winner for 2014, for sure I would have guessed it would be Guardians of the Galaxy, which was an incredible experience. This was darker. You know, we're talking about grim things with Batman. Darker, more mature, more grim. Some stuff that's going to make you uncomfortable as you're going through the experience.
I'm just not sure how I feel about Chris Kyle's story being made into this amazing thing. Like, he really wasn't the hero that the book portrayed him to be. So it was changed a lot for the theater. I don't know how you feel about that. When
they start writing books about your life and my life, and they make movies, they'll probably add some things that weren't really true.
Oh, okay, you're right about that, Jones. You have a story for us now, don't you?
I do. I actually recently, I can't believe this happened, got to meet Sid Meier.
Wow.
Yes, the legendary Sid Meier. And he wanted to tell me about his new video game. It's called Starships. Roll tape.